Okay, today we're going to review what you know about slope. So please make sure that if you chose not to print out the notes that you take out a piece of paper and a pen so that you can follow along. Now, if you remember, there are 4 different types of slopes as seen in the picture on the left, right here. You also may know that slope is rise over run, as in the picture on the right. So the first thing that we want to review is to determine if these graphs have a positive, negative, 0, or no slope. The easiest one that most kids usually pick out first is the second one here. This has a positive slope because the picture is going up. If we read from left to right, if it's going up, it's positive. Now that should be able to tell us that this picture down here has a negative slope, because if you look at it and read from left to right, the picture is going down. Now the last 2 are the ones that kids sometimes confuse. I'm going to start with the 4th one. This one here, since it is a flat line, that has a 0 slope. The actual equation of this line, if you remember from a few weeks ago in class, since it is a horizontal line and it hits the y-axis, it has to be a y equals something. If I count my boxes, I'm up 1, 2, 3. So that is the equation y equals 3. Since this has a 0 slope, then that means that this one over here has no slope, or sometimes it is called undefined. Now again, if we go back to a few weeks ago, this is the x-axis. If it is a vertical line and it's hitting the x-axis, the equation is x equals, and if I count my boxes, 1, 2, I'm back 2, so the equation of that line is x equals -2. Now slope, depending on what your teachers in the past have shown you, it's either the change in the vertical distance over the change in the horizontal distance, which is this. Sometimes it's called rise over run. Sometimes change in y over change in x. Sometimes there's a little triangle. It says triangle y over triangle x. That symbol is a delta symbol, and it means change. And today we're going to discuss a formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we want to find the slope from 2 points, and I know this is zoomed in a lot because I want you to be able to see it. To find the slope, it's always rise over run. So if I start here, if I count boxes, 1, 2, I'm going down 2, so that's negative. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 5. And if I listen to how I say that, it's down 2 over 5. So that slope is -2/5. If I look at picture number 3, if I look at this point, again, it's always rise over run. So here I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going up 4. Then I'm going over, so I'm going to write the 4 over 1, 2, 3. So here my slope is 4/3. If I move over to these other 2 examples, again, if I start at the left point here, I'm going down 2, so -2, and then over 2, so over 2. And if I use my calculator or my brain, -2 over 2 is -1, so here my slope is -1. And if I look at number 4, again, it's rise over run. I'm going up 1, over 1, 2, 3. So here my slope is 1/3. Now, sometimes we're going to use the formula to find the slope between 2 points. So if you have difficulty labeling your points, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. All I have to do is plug them into the formula. So it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If I do the math, I get -2 over 4, which I can reduce because both of those are divisible by 2. So this does become -1 over 2. That is the slope between those 2 points. Another one, it says a line goes through the points 5, -2, and 7, -8. What is the slope of this line? First thing we would want to do is write down the slope formula. If you need to, label your points, x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug in your values, -8 minus -2 over 7 minus 5. This becomes -6 over 2, which reduces to -3, or technically -3 over 1 if you were counting boxes, which means if I was counting boxes, I would go down 3 and then over 1 to go from here to here on a graph. So a quick review of what you might have seen last year. We have the equation of the line here. The slope is always the number in front of the x, this number here. It does not include the x. It's only the number in front of the x. So we can find a slope from 2 points, like here, if we use the slope formula. We can find the slope from a graph if we count boxes, rise over run. Or we can do it from the equation of a line, where in this case, if we're in slope-intercept form, my m is my slope. Or if we're in point-slope form, here, the number in front of the parentheses is also my slope. Please make sure that you write down any questions and either email me or ask me next time you see me in class.